What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to explain how people are doing one-shots with Alpha. This is the character we're going to be focusing on today because many of you out there do have Alpha, and a really great team for her is B-Liv and B-Nanami on the team with her. One of the big reasons is both of these characters are completely free to play, and I'm going to explain in detail why each of these characters is wonderful for them and why we're going to be using certain memory sets on them. So we're going to start off with B-Nanami. Now my B-Nanami is double S, but she's just level 64. You see the BP that we have here, and her weapon that you get completely for free in the game is only at level 25. And this weapon is really essential. It really helps a lot because it has a, reducing an enemy's defenses by 5% for 3 seconds, and this can be stacked up to 5 times. So this can add a lot of reducing the enemy defenses, and it's going to allow you to do a lot more damage. It's pretty much applying a debuff is what it's doing. But on top of that, when it comes to Nanami, is her blue orbs. This is very important, especially for Alpha. Now these orbs are not completely leveled up. She is only level 64, so I could easily make this a lot better. But this is what we want to focus on right here. Whenever you do one orb, you're going to get a certain percentage of resistance down, physical resistance down, and that's very important for someone like Alpha, who's 100% physical damaging killer. I mean, you could use this for Lee Entropy as well, right? If you have Lee Entropy, you could do the same methods that I'm going to show you today. But it works better with Alpha because she just has a lot more burst damage, and that's really what you want when you're doing these kind of one-shots. But anyways, the higher your blue orb level is, the more resistance down you're going to get. The more orbs that you use, like if you just use one orb, you're only going to get a smaller percentage of physical defense down. You use 2 orbs, you're going to get a little bit more. Use 3 orbs, 3 blue orbs, you're going to get a lot more physical resistance down. So combined with her weapon and the blue orbs, Nanami is just insane for debuffing the boss to allow you to do an insane amount of extra physical damage. It's a huge debuff. And as far as memories, I'm going to be using the Da Vinci set. Now, you don't have to use the Da Vinci set. There are other ways of doing this without the Da Vinci set, but in today's video, this is the way that I'm going to show you, and this way I'm going to focus on. I'll show you in another video on how to do this without the Da Vinci, but the Da Vinci is really awesome, and it makes things a lot easier for you because what this set does is it allows you to use this character, and then it's going to automatically set up the QTE for the other character, which means you can bring in both of the strikers or both of the characters all at once, apply all of your debuffs all at one time. And the Da Vinci also does offer, when there are 3 constructs on the field, an extra attack increased by 20%. So not only will it help you bring in both of your strikers all at once, it's also going to give you an extra increased attack by that 20%. And that is massive, right? That is just nuts that it can do that. And we're going to be running the Catherine set. Now the Catherine set is amazing because, whenever you're doing your QTEs, 3 picking skills reduce the target's physical defenses by 20%. Right? So this is going to be a massive debuff on top of the debuff from Nanami's blue orbs and her weapon. All of these things are stacking on top of each other, right? It's just an insane amount of debuffs. And then we get into B-Liv. Now, something that's pretty cool about B-Liv today, and something I'm very excited about, is I can actually transcend her or take her to triple S tier, which would actually give me an extra 10% physical damage. But for the purpose of this video, I haven't done it yet. I just wanted to show you guys this, that you don't really need Liv to be at double S or even just S rank. S rank doesn't really take that long to get her to, and you can easily farm her in the interlude. But Liv is going to be amazing for her QTE and for her heals, right? This QTE is going to be very important because she does a maximum HP and deals, a certain percentage of physical damage to nearby enemies. She is a 100% physical damage dealing character. And the memories that you're going to want to use on this character are going to be these right here. Now, her weapon, just gains you an orb, which is nice, right? But these memories are going to be essential. Now, you're probably asking yourself, a lot of people use the Da Vinci on B-Liv rather than B-Nanami, right? Well, in this specific case, right, when you're trying to do one-shots, you want to apply as many debuffs as possible, and no 2 of the same memories can stack on top of each other. So if I have a Catherine set here, and I have a Catherine set on B-Nanami, they are not going to stack up on top of each other. From the testing that I've done, they do not. You have to use different memories. You can't use the same ones twice and one debuff all at once. And because B-Liv has a heal, you can actually use this Richelieu set, which, whenever you apply a healing effect, which Liv does, you can actually increase the target's physical damage by 8%. So you're going to be increasing Alpha's physical damage. This isn't a debuff, but you're applying physical damage. And then the Voltaire is actually going to reduce the target's defenses by 10% for 5 seconds, right? That's a debuff. And then the Phillips set here, whenever you apply a heal, increases by 10%. The next healing effect increases the target's physical damage by 10%. So you're getting 10% from the Phillips set. You're getting another 8% from the Richelieu set, which is a total of 18% extra physical damage when you apply a heal. And then on top of that, you're applying this debuff, right? And then on top of that, you're applying the Catherine debuff. And on top of that, you're applying the blue orbs from Benanime, and you're also getting that resistance down from Benanime's weapon. All of these things combined is what's going to allow you to do so much damage with Alpha. And speaking of which, my Alpha is fairly built up, right? She does have almost 6,000 BP. Actually, she does have over 6,000 BP with my patent memory set, but we're going to be using the Frederick set. Now, I haven't got to play with this set a whole lot, but I can tell you that the burst damage for this set is absolutely insane. 2 Darwins and then 4 Fredericks. And the reason the Frederick is so amazing is because, you know, whenever you do like 3 dodges, you're going to increase your attacker's speed by 20%, increase its damage taken by 15% for 4 seconds on an 8-second cooldown. This is an insane amount of extra damage. The burst damage from this set is wonderful, and it synergizes super well with Alpha, because whenever you have a lot of orbs built up for Alpha, and then you apply all those debuffs from Benanime and Belive, and then you apply the Frederick set proc all at once, the damage you do is insane. And something about Alpha, especially when you're guarding dodges, is that whenever you do her core passive, this thing right here, Crimson Abyss, right? Any 3 ping after a blue 3 ping causes you to fall back and enter Blade Will mode. When you fall back, when you hit those blue orbs, when you hit a 3 ping blue, or you go into the Matrix and you hit a 1 ping blue, she falls back. It's counted as a dodge. So you actually have to dodge twice and do a blue orb, 1 blue orb in the Matrix, or a 3 ping before you go into the Matrix to do an extra dodge, right? So what a lot of people like to do is they'll do like whenever they switch into Alpha, they'll do a dodge, then they'll go into the Matrix, hit their blue orb, they'll fall back, that counts as a dodge, and then they'll dodge again to get 3 dodges in a row and apply that Frederick set along with all of those debuffs from Benanime and Belive all at once. This is very important to remember and to know. You need to do 3 dodges for that Frederick set to proc, because if it doesn't proc, if you don't get the 3 dodges in there, that you're not going to be able to do this. It's not going to be as efficient. Now, you can do this with a patent memory set, and maybe I'll show you that a video about that, but we're just going to be focusing on the Frederick today, because honestly, for this method, it is so much better. And the reason that this video might be really important for a lot of you out there is when you apply this method, whenever you're doing it, this is the way you're going to want to do things when it comes to Pain Cage. You want to end these fights as fast as possible. And you can see I've reached the 1 million club. And it's because I was doing this. I'm in the top 2% in advanced 70 to 100, right? And you know, and what that's going to allow me is I'm going to get 42 of these Phantom Pain scars, so I can get more shards for Alpha or for whatever character you're getting. The better you do in here, the more rewards you're going to get, the more Phantom scars you're going to get, and the more shards that you're going to be able to acquire to level up your characters. Something really quick that I also want to note about my character being at double S is that because she's at double S, whenever you do a red orb, let me see here, we need to go over here. Whenever you do a 3 ping red orb, her physical damage increased by 10% for 4 seconds. So in the video you're going to see today, in the run you're going to see today, I'm going to be using that 3 ping red because that's going to be the best damage for me, because I'm actually going to be gaining 10% physical damage. Now, some of you out there, if your character isn't at double S, this isn't going to be as important. If she's just S rank, then you're just not even going to worry about this, whether you got, you know, the yellow out or whether you got the blue or whether you have the red. It really isn't going to matter as much then, because you're just going to want to do a 3 ping blue or a 1 ping blue into the Matrix, and then a whatever 3 ping afterwards to enter your sword wave and do as much damage as possible. And the one shot I'm going to show you today is actually against this guy right here, Mr. Difficulty 6500, recommended level 80, my alpha is level 78, against Camus here. Now, something I want you to know about my team composition here, the way that I got them set up is I have Beanonami in the blue orb slot and I have Liv in the yellow slot. The reason for that is because we want to proc the Da Vinci set. So we're going to use Beanonami in the blue slot because we're going to enter the blue orbs whenever we're playing with Alpha. Whatever character has a Da Vinci set for Alpha, that's the character that should be in the blue orb slot. In Warzone, usually I'd have B-Liv there, but in this particular case, because we want more debuffs on our characters all around, right? We got 3 debuffs on B-Liv with her memories, and then we have the debuff from the blue orbs from Beanonami, and the debuff from the memories on Anonymity from the Catherine set. This is really the best way to go as far as doing as much damage as possible and apply as many debuffs as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the run for you guys, and you can see what we do here, okay? Let's see how I'm doing this. Now, I want you all to notice something right at the very beginning. So right at the very beginning, the orbs that you start off with is going to be very, very important. You always want to make sure that you, when you're starting off with Alpha anyways, that, you know, you have a blue orb and then you have 3 ping of something else, right? Now, in my particular case, as I mentioned earlier, I want 3 red orbs. So this set that you're looking at right now is ideal. I also want you to look at something down in the bottom right-hand corner, right above the swords, your regular attack button, where it says 5/16. That is how many orbs are going to be available to you when you start the fight, right? Some people are going to start with 4, some people are going to start with 8. It really depends on if you have your character at level 80, or it just really depends. Maybe a Resonance has unlocked an extra orb. I mean, things of that nature. But because my character is not at level 80, if she was, we'd have 8 orbs to begin with, and I'd probably do this a little bit different. But because I don't, and I'm only starting off with 5 orbs, this is the way that I'm going to do it. And what you're trying to do with Alpha is you want to try to get as many orbs as possible. That way you do an insane amount of burst damage. The more orbs, the more sword waves you're going to have. And when you apply all those debuffs, you want as many sword waves as possible. That way, while your debuffs are applied, you're going to be able to do a lot of one-shot damage, right? So watch what I do. I'm actually going to run up. We're going to dodge, and we're just going to attack and build up some more orbs, right? That's all we're doing. We're going to attack, build up some more orbs. We're going to jump over here, and we're going to keep building. Now, I want you to notice that right now, my dodge meter is almost ran out, and we're at 11 orbs, 11 out of 16, okay? And I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to dodge one more time, and then I'm going to switch to my next character. Okay, now switch to Liv. We just go into the Matrix. Now, what I want you to pay attention to right now is I want you to look at the meter for Alpha. Alpha's meter is going to be counting down, right, for me to be able to bring her back in. And when it's about 3/4 of the way through, that's when we're going to be switching her. We're going to be getting near switching her back in. So watch when I do this. So we're killing a little time. We're waiting. Now look when I switch to Beanonami. Alpha's meter is almost at 75%, right? It's not far from where we're going to be tagging her back in. And that's when you want to bring in Nanami. And also something I want you to notice is Nanami has blue orbs. So, I mean, there's going to be some RNG involved when you're trying to do this. It's not something you're just going to jump in and do one time and it's going to be one and done and over. You got to get the right orbs in order for this to work. Again, if your character isn't at SS rank, it won't matter if you have a 1 blue orb and 3 yellow, or 4 blue orbs, or 1 blue orb and 3 red. I mean, any of those is going to work really, really well for this. But whenever you switch into Beanonami, you really want her to at least have 1 blue orb. But I mean, if she has 2 or she has 3, that's going to be even better because you're going to apply a much larger debuff. Watch what I do. Now notice that I'm not using any of my skills, right? If I use the red orbs, that's going to trigger Alpha, and then if I bring her in, it's just going to bring in her QTE. We don't want that. We want to tag her in. We want to use her as a damage dealer. So I'm not using any skills. I'm just going to use the blue orbs. There, we applied the blue orbs. We switch to Alpha, right? Alpha, every time you switch in your character, they're just going to do a certain attack, right? She does her certain attack, and I want you to pay attention to what she's going to do. There's a dodge. There's a dodge. We hit the blue orbs. We did a fallback. We dodged again. We applied all of our debuffs all at once, and then boom. One-shotted Kamu, no problem. Pretty much destroyed him. Now, I know that was a pretty fast run, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring up a little slow-mo for you guys, right? We're going to watch it again, and then I'm going to slow it down whenever we get ready to use Alpha so you guys can see exactly how you approach this. Now, you don't have to play it exactly like me, but again, right now, we're just trying to build up our orbs. We're going to build up as many orbs as we can so we get as many sword waves as possible to do as much burst damage as possible. right? And we switch to live, right? We're just gonna go into the matrix, try to do a little bit of damage. Okay, we're waiting for Alpha's meter to come back around. We're gonna switch to Nanami. We're gonna go into the matrix. We're not gonna use any of her skills, just her basic attacks. Now we're going into slow-mo, okay? So you guys can see what's actually gonna happen here. We're gonna use our blue orbs to apply the debuff, right? We're gonna switch to Alpha. Now what some people do is they'll switch to Alpha and they'll just dodge immediately. Now I didn't do that here. She's automatically just doing an attack. We haven't dodged yet at all, right? Okay, so there we go. So there's a dodge right there. Okay. We're going to dodge again. We go into the matrix. We're going to hit the blue orbs. Now watch her fall back when we hit the blue orbs and we enter our sword wave. We hit the red orbs. We fall back. You see it come back? And that was counted as a dodge. That's 3 dodges. And now our Frederick sets procs applied and all those debuffs are applied. And you always want to bring in B Nanami and B Liv right before you start doing your sword waves. So, I mean, that's how you do a one-shot. I mean, that's pretty much what you want to do. I'll go ahead and show you guys just in all of its reality without any pausing. So you can just see a full run of what it looks like. Ooh. And, you know, and I got to tell you, man, this is way better with the Frederick set than the patent set. I'll probably end up doing a comparison in the future. I mean, I do think the patent set's probably better for Warzone, or at least a lot easier to deal with instead of the Frederick set, because the Frederick set's actually on a cooldown whenever you use it, and it can make it a little bit of annoying to play with in the Warzone. But man, for this, for one-shotting, it is insanely good. So we're gonna apply our blue orbs. There we go, switch Alpha. Remember that debuff still being applied from Nanami's blue orbs. And boom. Piece of cake, piece of cake. Alpha getting it done, completely destroying, and she's not the only character that can do one-shots. You can apply this method with other characters. I'm just showing Alpha because on my account, this is the character that's strong enough really to do it. I really need to level up some other characters in order to be able to queue one-shots up. I mean, I've seen A. Karenina do one-shots. I've done one-shots with Lee Palefire in the lower stages of Pain Cage, but that's why you want to try to learn this method. If you're trying to get as many of those Phantom Pain Scars and Phantom Pain Cage, that's why those one-shots are really going to be so good for you, because they're going to help you get more rewards to be able to get more shards from the Phantom Pain Cage, and also it's just fun doing one shot. So hopefully this will help somebody out there, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.